Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. Today our group will present a case study titled Fiqh Issue in Zakat, the obligatory status, haul and nisab on income zakat. So I will start with the introduction first. So zakat is one of the 5 pillars of Islam and a duty for every eligible Muslim. It is both an act of worship and a means to reduce inequality and support the needy. In the past, zakat applied to gold, crops, livestock and trade, but today it has also include modern income such as salaries, allowances, professional fees and business earnings. These raise 3 main fiqh issues. The first is obligation, where the income zakat is directly compulsory for or follows business zakat. The second is haul, where the income must be held for 1 lunar year or paid immediately. The third is nisab, based on the value of 85 grams of gold and whether calculated on annual or monthly income. In Malaysia, where most Muslims are salaried workers, zakat institutions have introduced monthly salary deductions. However, different state practices and fiqh views still cause confusion. Therefore, this case study will focus on obligation, haul and nisab to provide clarity for Muslim income earners. Now let's moving on to the background of the case. In Malaysia, zakat is both a religious obligation and a tool for fair wealth distribution. With modern economic changes, most Muslims now earn through salaries, professional services, or business rather than traditional wealth categories. Groups involved include public sector workers, private employees, professionals and entrepreneurs. To address this, the National Fatwa Council declared in 1997 that income zakat is wajib, and states like Selangor, Melaka and the Federal Territory later introduced salary deduction scheme. Despite these measures, different mean across state, obligation is widely accepted. Nisab is based on 85 grams of gold, around 21,500 ringgit to 24,500 ringgit in recent year. And how remains debated since income is received monthly. In short, Muslim income earners are directly affected, and the main challenge is applying obligation, haul and nisab in a way that fits modern realities while remaining true to Islamic principles.
Moving on to the key issue faced in paying zakat on income in Malaysia. Even though zakat is one of the pillars of Islam and has strong institutional support, challenges remain in 3 main areas, which awareness, compliance and administration. First, awareness. Many Muslims in Malaysia still misunderstand zakat on income. Some believe zakat only applies to saving, business or agriculture, not salaries or professional income. There is also confusion about nisab and haul, whether zakat should be paid monthly or yearly. First, scholar views add to the uncertainty, causing people to delay or even avoid payment. Research also shows that even staff in religious office have inconsistent knowledge and practice of zakat on income. This proves that lack of understanding remains a major barrier. Next, compliance. Even when people know their obligation, not all of them pay. One of main reason is the perception of a double burden, which paying both zakat and income tax. Although zakat can be used as a rebate against tax, many still see it as paying twice. Another issue is enforcement. Tax is compulsory and strictly monitored, but zakat relies on self-declaration and voluntary payment. So, many priorities paying tax to avoid penalties, while zakat is ignored. On top of that, financial pressure plays a big role. With high living costs and debt commitments, some Muslims feel they cannot afford to set aside 2.5% for zakat even if they qualify. Finally, administration. Since zakat is managed by each state, there are differences in policies and calculation methods. Some states encourage yearly contribution, while others focus on monthly salary deduction. This inconsistency creates confusion and makes it harder to standardize practice. Even though online platforms and salary deduction scheme exist, participation remains low. There is also a lack of integration between LHDN and zakat institution, which zakat payment are not automatically calculated with tax, which reduce convenience. Lastly, trust is a serious issue. Some Muslims doubt whether zakat funds are properly managed or distributed to the right asnaf. Because of this, they prefer to give directly to the poor as sadaqah, even though it does not replace zakat.
For this part, I will explain the institutional role of zakat authorities and LHDN in handling income zakat issue. In Malaysia, zakat authorities are managed at the state level under Majlis Agama Islam Negeri. Institutions such as Lembaga Zakat Selangor and Pusat Pungutan Zakat are responsible for collecting and distributing zakat to the asnaf. They provide clear guidance on the obligation of income zakats, the haul, and the nisab. Each trustee set the nisab value based on the current price of gold, and they also provide facilities like online zakat calculators and salary deduction schemes such as Scheme Berkat. For example, in Selangor Overtua in 2002, made income zakat compulsory and introduced monthly salary deductions. This showed that adaptability of Islamic law to the modern economic situation as make zakat payments easier for Muslims. On the other hand, the Inland Revenue Board of Malaysia or HDN supports zakat compliance through the tax system. According to Section 6A, 3 of the Income Tax Act 1967, zakat payments made to an authorities institution are eligible for a full tax rebate. That means if someone earns RM10,000 in tax but has already paid 3,000 ringgit in zakat, their tax payable is reduced to 7,000 ringgit. LHDN also allows zakat deduction through payroll system just like monthly tax deduction. In conclusion, zakat authorities and LHDN work together to make zakat payments more convenient, to reduce the feeling of double burden, and to restrain public trust. Their cooperation ensures zakat remains both a regulation obligation and a tool for social and economic development in Malaysia.
Hi, my name is Nur Atika binti Nur Hisham. So today, I will be presenting on the impact of income zakat on society. My discussion will cover 3 main areas: the economic impact, the social impact, and the governance and institutional impact, followed by a broader reflection. First, the economic impact. Income zakat plays a crucial role in reducing economic inequality by redistributing wealth from higher income groups to the 8 asnaf category. Zakat provides a financial safety net for the poor and vulnerable. In Malaysia, it helps bridge the gap between urban and rural communities through support in education, healthcare, and even microfinancing opportunities. Salary deduction scheme ensure a steady flow of contribution which can then be channeled into structured programs such as entrepreneurial grants, scholarship, and affordable housing. In this way, zakat complements government welfare and promote inclusive growth. However, zakat is sometimes seen as an extra burden, especially for the middle class who are already struggling with high living costs, property price, and debts. Even though tax rebate exists, the pressure highlights the economic challenge many families face today. Second, the social impact. Zakat built solidarity within the Muslim community by reminding us that wealth comes with responsibility. When managed effectively, it reduces resentment caused by poverty-driven inequalities and strengthens social ties. It also raises financial awareness, as Muslims need to calculate haul, nisab, and obligation, encourage better financial literacy and accountability. However, challenges exist. When trust in institutions is low, some choose to give directly as sadaqah instead of paying through official zakat body. While this helps individuals, it reduces the collective impact that zakat could have at a larger community level. This shows that institutional trust is vital for zakat to achieve its social goals. Third, the governance and institutional impact. Income zakat reflect Malaysia's unique governance model, where Islamic law and civil law exist. Zakat is overseen by State Religious Council, while income tax is managed federally. The inclusion of zakat in the tax rebate system demonstrates an effort to harmonize both, connecting religious obligation with national fiscal policy. We also see how Islamic law adapts to modern life. For example, the introduction of salary deduction scheme and reinterpretation of how for salary workers. However, differences in zakat administration across states, such as calculation method and enforcement create inconsistency and confusion. greater standardization and cooperation with LHDN would help improve efficiency and trust. Finally, the broader reflection, the case of income zakat mirrors Malaysia's wider realities. Persistent wealth inequality, high living costs, and the balance between tradition and modern life. Zakat serves as a bridge between faith and governance, redistribute wealth, fostering social justice, and promoting harmony in a diverse society. So, in conclusion, zakat on income is more than just a religious duty. It is a tool for wealth redistribution, a response to socio-economic challenge, and a test of governance effectiveness. Its success depends on awareness, compliance, and institutional credibility.
Next, my name is Nashidato Azrina, and I will share the recommendation on how zakat and tax planning in Malaysia can be improved. First, awareness and education. Many Muslims are still unsure about the obligation of income zakat, whether it is truly compulsory, how nisab should be calculated, and whether haul applies to salaries. To address this, zakat institutions need to strengthen education through seminars, workplace talk, and social media campaign. At the same time, practical tools like mobile zakat calculators can help people calculate their contribution more easily. In long run, this will reduce confusion and encourage more consistent payment of zakat. Second, better integration between zakat and tax system. At the moment, zakat can already be claimed as a tax rebate, but the process is not very efficient. Sometimes people find it confusing or inconvenient. A stronger collaboration between zakat authorities and the tax department will make the process much smoother. In addition, successful salary deduction schemes such as the one already used in Selangor should be expanded nationwide to make zakat payment easier and more consistent. Third, encouraging compliance. Even when people are aware of zakat, some still do not pay because of financial pressure or lack of motivation. To improve this, zakat institution could introduce small incentives for consistent payers and provide simple reminders for those who already meet the nisab but have not yet paid. This step would encourage people to fulfill their obligation without feeling forced or burdened. 4. Transparency and trust. Public confidence in zakat institution is very important. People want to know that their contributions are managed responsibly and reaching the right groups. To build this trust, zakat institutions should be publish clear reports and show how zakat is distributed. More transparency will help strengthen confidence among the public and motivate them to contribute regularly. And the conclusion, the best way to improve zakat and tax planning in Malaysia is by focusing on 4 key areas. First, raising awareness, integrated system, encourage compliance, and strengthening transparency. If these measures are taken, zakat will not only remain an act of worship, but also serve as a powerful tool for social and economic justice in the country. That's all for me. Thank you. For conclusion, to conclude, income zakat plays a very important role in Malaysia, not only as a religious duty, but also as a way to support social and economic balance. Even though there are still issues related to obligation, haul, and nisab that sometimes cause confusion, zakat continues to help reduce inequality and provide support to the asnaf. Institutions have already taken steps through salary deduction, tax rebate, and digital tools, but challenges such as lack of the trust and difference in the practice remain. Moving forward, the focus should be on building greater awareness, stronger integration with the tax system, encouraging compliance, and also ensuring transparency. By improving in this area, zakat can remain a meaningful act of worship while also serving as a powerful tool for social justice and fairness in Malaysia. That's all from us. Thank you.